everybody, my name is Nicola and I am simply a stitcher. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you are new around here, it's great to have you, and if you are returning, thank you for coming back and spending some more time with me. So going to do a stitch with me today, and as you can see, I've got my Realm of Middle Earth map. I did some of this on my live on Sunday night, and I'm carrying on with this today for this stitch with me. So today's stitch with me will consist of me answering your comments, and there have been a lot. Just a little disclaimer, if I don't read your comment out, please do not be offended. It is simply because I've had a lot of comments that are the same. And whilst I would love to have the time to acknowledge each and every one, I don't think that I will, even with the hour that we're going to spend here. But if you have made a comment on my video, thank you so much. It is truly appreciated. So I'm just going to get lined up here, tighten up my camera, there we go, and we're going to get cracked on with some stitching. I've done 145 thus far, so let's see how far we can get. So if you did tune in to my live video, thank you very much. It was great to see you here and interact with you as well. If you haven't seen my live video, it is available under the live tab. You can replay the video there. I think a good time was had by all, and for a first live I think it was fairly successful. Something like I think 80 something viewers at peak, and all kinds of other statistics that YouTube likes to put out, and yeah, it was brilliant, and I did enjoy spending my Sunday evening with you all. And of course I worked on this one while I was live. I think it's just going to take me a little time just to get used to these lives and setting them up, because I'm not particularly familiar with it. It's the first time I've ever done it. Andy's done it, but he's done it via his laptop with a webcam, and for some reason my webcam, the webcam was not working with my laptop, so I ended up using my phone and going live. Mobile is different to going live with a laptop. So there we go. So I am going to get through these comments as much as I can. As I said, I've not said as yet, this is a restart of my recording. Please do not be offended if I don't read out your comment. I had such a lot, and I'm grateful to each and every one of you. So first comment is from Jodie, and she's commenting on my Floss Tube 55 where Andy joined me. I think Jodie's been catching up on her Floss Tube, so obviously it's not the most recent Floss Tube that I've done. And Jodie says in her comment, really enjoyed the visit and Andy joining me. Yes, I think a lot of you out there in sort of Floss Tube world enjoy the interactions that Andy and I have, as well as being a married couple. I know this is just slightly off screen, just bear with. We're also the best of friends. We were friends before we became a couple, and I think that's so important, to be friends with the person that you're going to annoy for the rest of your life. I mean, get married to. So there we go. Sorry I'm not finished with my stitching. Yeah, I wasn't. It's starting to come back. It's getting better. I'm getting there. There's still some days where I don't want to stitch, but I'm in the habit of stitching, I think, which is which is, I suppose, in a lot of ways, it's a good thing. You made awesome progress on your whips. They're very beautiful. Thank you. I do try my best, and like to show something of progression when I do put the camera on. You can see that coffee stain on this one. Couldn't see it on my live. I can see it on this. It might be coffee. It could even be just because I had hand cream on or something and it's rubbed off on there. Sort of looks more yellow than brown. Congrats on the weight loss journey, and praying you all get some warmer and brighter days. Well, my weight loss, I am 1 stone 2 off and counting. And blimey, Jodie, we did get the brighter days. We've had almost 30 degrees here, like centigrade, so like a mini heat wave. And it's been unseasonably warm for September. So, yeah, we got the warmer weather. Now, if only we could have cooler days here in Texas. Did you get those cooler days? I'd love to know. Still you under a heat wave and melting. Yeah. Okay. So my last chatty stitch with me, I forgot to mention how many stitches I'd done, and I put on a pinned post under the video, which said that I'd done 124. And Clara says, I'm going to blame that low count on the confetti. Yep, absolutely, Clara. The bookshelf is a lovely piece to stitch. But yes, because I'm doing it regular size, max colour, 200 and something colours, it's a lot of confetti. But, we bear that because we make something beautiful at the end. Okay. Oh, sorry, I keep having a camera quake. I'm awful. Katina, or Cat, because we decided, didn't we, we're going to call you Cat. Thank you for answering my question on tent stroke half cross stitching. It was very nice to see a full progress on the tent project now. This I addressed in my floss tube, and we'll come to those comments very shortly with my stitching disaster, as it were. I'll just call it a learning curve now. Count again, check, count again, and then get Andy to double check, I think, in future. So she says that she'll look up some more of my videos. I hope you did, and also saw on my floss tube. Well, I know you saw on my floss tube because you commented on it. But yeah, great stuff. And it's fine to call her Cat. So that's great. Okay. Mrs. Miggins, my lovely Norfolk stitcher, regularly checks in from just outside of sunny Hunstanton. It's great that I'm feeling the benefit of my weight loss already. Yeah, it is. Less backache, certainly. I wouldn't say more energy yet because my legs literally still feel like lead. But walking isn't so much of an issue because I don't have to stop. I don't have to pause so much, which makes a huge difference. I was at York at the weekend and just padding around the city centre, I managed to put in 10,000 steps, so that was good. It's a very hot day though, and I did have to drink a fair amount and what have you. So I think when I was on my journey, as much as I saw weight going down, I still thought it was the original weight. Yeah, I think, you know, your mind catching up to what's happening with your body is part of weight loss, isn't it? I remember my sort of last time that I lost weight. I remember going into a shop, and for me, at one point, going into a shop was going and buying something stretchy or elasticated, nothing fitted. And I went and I got a pair of trousers off the rack and went straight to the till, and Andy says, "What are you doing?" And he says, "What size are those?" And I told him, and he went, "You're not that size anymore." And I actually had to have him remind me in a clothing shop that I'm not that size anymore, because my head still hadn't caught up with the changes in my body. And my head still thought, you know, I was, you know, a 3 times big, you know, 3 sizes bigger than what I actually was. So I have the opposite problem now. I think I'm skinnier than I actually am, which of course is definitely not the case. Only occurred to her how well she was doing when there was space each side of the bath, each side of her when she sat in the bath. Yeah. And when you sit in the bath and it feels, you know, it feels uncomfortable because your backside's got less padding on it. So the bottom of the bath feels uncomfortable. I've had that too. Sorry, I might just be going out of sight again in a sec. No need to. Personally, believe we're going to lose weight for ourselves and not others. Yes, absolutely. I'm losing my weight for me, to feel better, to look better, to prolong my life, to improve my health, and 1,000,001 other reasons in between. I felt embarrassed about my weight. I felt embarrassed for Andy with me, being with me at this weight, you know, and I'm 4 weeks in, 16 pounds down. I'm definitely ready to do this, and I will just carry on. Good to hear a Stitchy Book back. Have a good weekend. And she had to laugh at the ad at the end of the video. It's for Aero Bubbles Melts. So, yeah, you got a chocolate fix at the end of my video. Brilliant. Okay. Missy Jansen, thanks for the lovely video again. You were my company this morning with a cup of coffee. My kind of girl, Missy. For me, it's coffee all the way in the AM. Definitely need some of that wakey water. Speaking of coffee, I'm just going to have a quick sip of mine before I continue. Norma, this is a comment. Surprise, Andy stitches, and a very good stitcher he is. Enjoyed watching you stitch and getting a life update. And congratulations on what I've not been able to achieve, weight loss. Most important part of that journey is feeling better, and that seems to be happening for you. I'm thrilled for you. Yeah, it does, Norma. And anybody can achieve weight loss, but you have to be ready in yourself and believe in yourself to achieve it. And I think that's very often thing, isn't it? We all sort of have this, you know, half, you know, a partial enthusiasm, but you know, it's when you actually hit that point where, you know, I am ready to do this, I have to do this, where we garner the most success. Gio says congratulations on the weight loss. Thank you, Gio. Sharon, colours in Stitching Shelf are spectacular. I'm glad you've got the book back again. I'm loving a stamped piece at the moment. And meant to ask, are you intending to finish your Christmas scene one? Yes, I am. It's just a case of it's on the pile of whips to do. I might pull it out this week for Stitch With Me. I've got a couple of Stitch With Me's to do this week. I've got an ASMR one. Well, this is one of them, and they've got an ASMR. It'll lend itself quite well to ASMR, I think, because it's 3 strands, and with the painted canvas, you know, we'll definitely, you know, hear that ASMR. So I might pull it out for that. Also, Lord of the Rings designs. Yes, I'm going to finish those as well. 23,000 stitches in each one. So for me, they don't take that long to do. They take, you know, 2 to 3 weeks of constant stitching. And because they're nice blocky colour, they're quite a fast stitch. But yes, I do intend on finishing those. Again, well done on the weight loss, thank you. You seem to be on the right track. I'm hoping to lose 1/2 stone this month. It'd be hard as I'm a foodie. Yeah, I'm a foodie too, but it's just having to change to those different kinds of foods, isn't it? And she wants to do some more walking. Since the dog passed away, she's walking much less and the weight has piled on. Yeah, and I think for me, it's been working from home because I'm not inclined to sort of get out and walk. I mean, when I'm in the office, I walk around so much more than when I am at home. My Fitbit barely registers, you know, 2,000 steps at home if I'm on a work day, but it can register sort of 4 or 5 times that when I'm in the office. So figure that one out. But then again, it's a longer walk to the loo, it's a longer walk to get a cuppa, and you know, all of these things, they do add up. And I had to walk from the tram stop and you know, into the building, and from the tram stop to the bus stop, and you know, so there's lots of ways that I can add in extra steps when I'm in the office. Okay, Carol Spells, look forward to all your videos. Well done on the weight loss and keep it up. Loving all your projects and love that Andy and Lauren also stitch. You're just a joy to watch and see your projects come to life. Thank you. That's a lovely comment to read. Thank you very much for that, Cal. It's a joy for me to do, and I love to share what I do. I mean, on my live video, I'm told that I get the prize for the fastest live stitcher. So, but yeah, it is lovely, and I like to see the progress in it. Sometimes I do get frustrated because I can't see as much progress as I want to see. I kind of always have an idea in my head of how I want my project to be, how I want it to look. And when it sort of falls short of that, it does frustrate me a little bit. But then I just think, well, you know what? Stitches is progress no matter how many you do, whether it's 1, 100 or 1,000. And I think I just need to keep my sights on that, really, more than anything, that progress is progress. So I've got some comments about my community posts. I'm going to sort of handle these all in kind of one, as it were. Lots of you were saying that it was an awful thing to happen and I should not let one person ruin it. Well, if you've seen my further update, I'm not. And I think by having this Stitch With Me to answer your queries, answer your questions and comments, should I say, and a live Stitch With Me where we can interact together is going to be a huge step forward. I'm inclined to be doing my live now on the back of the one that I've just done every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. UK time, whether that be BST or GMT. We're currently in British summertime. GMT will begin in October. And I will always aim to pop a reminder out on YouTube at least 6 hours before, if I can. But yeah, the live videos, the one that we did was just really successful. So that person will not have ruined it, because now I have taken the plunge and done something that I did want to do before. And that's moved forward into the live video sphere, as it were. A lot of you in these comments do say that you all, really enjoy what I do, and one or two of you have said that my channel is, a standout, which is wonderful. I've always been, honest. I don't dress it up. I speak in my normal voice. I don't change anything. Not that I'm saying anybody else does, but I don't have a different persona for YouTube than what I do in real life. I'm exactly the same. And occasionally, yes, I might swear. I might say a word that people don't like. But then again, I'm a human being, and I have my own way, my own personality. I get I'm not for everyone, but if you're sticking with me, I am very appreciative of that. So next thing I want to talk about is my floss tube, where I had my disaster. First one is Sharon, who says, what a shame. I'm sure you could keep yourself. Yeah, I could, but I will learn from it, and I won't do that again. As I said, I've had a comment to say, utilise the stitching for something useful, and that is my plan. Whether it be a needles case or something like that, I will use that stitching. It will not be wasted. It will not be thrown away. Okay, so lots of you suggested stitching on a piece of fabric. I've tried that before, and I've found it to be too bulky for my liking. It's also difficult to sort of stitch through 2 layers. So I've opted not to do that. But thank you to everybody who did suggest it. It was the first thing that crossed my mind. And as I explained sort of in my follow-up video, when I bought the Afromov piece, I bought it with the intention that it's going to be stitched as is. I don't want to crop it. I don't want to edit it. I don't want to move it. I want to do it as a supersized max colour and finish it as a supersized max colour, which is why I'm going to restart it. I will probably still tent stitch it like I did the first one, only this time out comes the pen and on go the fabric markings, because rather than just using iron hand count, which I think is probably where I went wrong last time, I'm going to use fabric pens and mark every 100 stitches to ensure that I get 100 stitches times 10 squared, 999 by 991, I think it is. and I'm just going to check and double check with that pen. and I will restart it. It'll probably be can't even speak, probably be all being well in the next few weeks. So when I do restart it, I'll probably video my actual start so you can all see. Okay. So Pale Fire Stitcher, I know her as Pale Fire Stitcher from Instagram. She gave quite a few suggestions of what I could do with it. A project bag, a biscornu, needlebook covers, something like that. So I'm going to have a look and see what that stitching will lend itself to. So have I considered eliminating the bottom? Well, yeah, just discussed that. Nope. This is from Amy. She says, glad that I realised it now and not later on. Yes, so am I. I wouldn't have wanted to have got to the end of it, and it was just really happenstance. I wanted to take the work out of the frame so I could post it for Kat and show her that stitching in that same way and using a decent hoop with strong tension means that that fabric's not warped. And that's when I discovered it, because I knew I was halfway down, but it looked more than halfway, and I'm like, oh no. MVC, yikes, I was enjoying following you on Night Cafe. I'm sad you'll have to restart. Well, you know, if I restart, philosophically speaking, it's only got to be better, hasn't it? Because I've done it before. I can do it again. Sharon, the other Sharon, Nicola, what a nightmare. I feel for you. Please perhaps sleep on the idea of cropping. Yeah, it's not being cropped. I don't want to crop it. So there we go. Sandy, so sorry for you, all that work. I'd be spitting feathers, I'm sure. I did sort of, I was a little bit annoyed with myself for pretty much all of the rest of the day. But then I thought, well, you know what, it's a piece of stitching. You know, no, in the nicest possible way, nobody died. I just made an absolute screw up, and I'm going to pay the price really for, and have to restart. And I have to accept that. Lovely Realm of Middle Earth looking terrific. Yes, it was really nice actually to get that, the Realm of Middle Earth mount, this piece, out and photograph it. And, you know, you can really sort of see I have got 3 full rows of pages in. So let me just see if I can see how many pages that means. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 14 times 3, so 20, 30, 40. So this is page 40. Is that one? Yeah. So this is page 43 that I'm doing. 43 of about 150. You know me, no small feet. Mrs. Miggins again. Sorry to hear of your trouble. I think you're keeping it together very well. Yeah, I think I did all right. I'm sure you all heard the annoyance in my voice. A piece I had to throw a piece I'd worked on for 3 months with 25,000 plus stitches in it, and it knocked me for a week. Congratulations on the weight loss again, and 1.2 pounds, 1 stone 2 pounds. I'll get it right in a minute. Another YouTuber, Fun with Cross Stitch, had the same issue and decided to crop the picture as and when. I don't deny that it could be cropped. I just don't want to. I'm stubborn. I think I was just really enjoying the change in stitching and rhythm for Night Cafe as well. Rather than it being a full cross like this, with it being a snake method and tent stitch, I just really enjoyed working on it, which is why I'm happy to pick it up and restart it, I think. Crystal, can't find any other words than that sucks big time. Warping with tent stitch can be prevented by using a hoop or frame with tension. Yep, that's what I did. Still love Middle Earth map coming along nicely. So loads of commiseration really for it, and that I'm taking the error well. Like I said, I am skipping over a few comments because there's such a lot. So Norma, so this is my sort of mindset, Norma. I sad on your stitching disaster, but you're certainly taking it well. All we can do when that happens, and it happens to all of us, is just accept the error and move on. That's my philosophy, Norma. I just have to accept it and move on because I can't change it, you know. So what else is there to do? Just move on, move forwards. As you said, you're not a stitcher until you've had a proper mess up. Not quite the word I use, Patricia, but then again, that's the Yorkshire in me. My little stitcher's heart felt for your pain a number of times. Retail therapy helps me, Patricia. Yeah. Retail therapy is something that's on my mind. But, you know, let's see, shall we? I received a very intriguing email this morning, which I'm yet to reply to, from one of you lovely ladies. And the retail therapy may very well be there once I've had a little conversation. So there we go. Okay, Clara. Oh, I love Clara. She's such a lovely lady. She said an awful lot on my community post, and I think this one, out of pretty much all of them, gave me the biggest smile. What she writes is, "Oh no, Nicola, I for one do not believe you should give in to the awful person's comment. I refuse to believe that as strong as a woman as you are, you would allow this commenter to bother you to the point where the rest of us who do love you and love listening to you are punished. You'll never please everyone, as you well know, so come on, stand up for yourself and those of us who have your back and love you. I feel I need to be straight with you and pray that you will hope and understand where I'm coming from. Don't give in to these mean and horrible people. I know that your heart is hurt. I feel you've come a very long way in your videos. You know that too, and I can see that a lot of us enjoy interacting with you in the comments, and you've changed in a great way because of this. Because of that, you've grown a lot. You smile so much more and share so much with us because you can tell we've become your friends. That is so true. And Clara summed that up absolutely wonderfully. And then she says, she goes on, so you listen to me, you've become special in my heart to where I look forward to seeing all of your videos. I know all of us feel that way too. When you do your Stitch With Me's with chat, I feel I'm sitting in the same room, stitching together. And you enable me, Clara, too. Don't take that away from us, and I know I'm not alone. Well, I'm not taking it away. I'm adding things in. I'm getting so emotional over here when I'm trying to get to this point where I'm crying and upset. Clara, please don't cry. Don't shed another single tear. Don't give in to the ugly person, delete them, get on and sharing with us your joy in stitching. I learned so much from you. I know you can do it. Love you mucho, Clara. Well, you know, Clara, I love you too. You are one of the people who has been here pretty much since the very beginning, and I value your comments, your friendship, your input, and all the rest of it. So, thank you. So, back to my floss tube. So, Joe Sorensen says, I'm so sorry, it's Stitch's worst nightmare. Yeah. I tend to buy more fabric than I need and not cut it until I'm exactly sure how much. For me, I've got some bolts of fabric, so I just cut a piece off the bolt, but obviously I counted wrong on the bolt. But the fabric will not go to waste because I will use it up for other projects. There's always something that I'm stitching, so I'm not concerned about not using up that fabric. But yes, I take from that, cut it bigger than what I think. And I thought I had, but that pen is going to come out. No, I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. Sue, again, passes on her sympathies. I've made that mistake with fabric, but not that many stitches. I don't blame you for not wanting to restart straight away. Well, it's been about a week now since I discovered it, and I have to say I'm getting the itch for it. So, I don't think it'll be too much longer before I do restart it. I'm so sorry about your piece. We've all done it with a pretty good attitude. Yes, Curlycraft, I have to be philosophical. My mother always taught me never cry over anything that won't cry over you. And how can a piece of work cry over you? It can't. I just have to move on. Susie NZ, I'm assuming that means that you're in New Zealand, Sue. Oh, I feel for you. Positive thoughts for moving on. I'm feeling that good vibe. I really am. And I shall endeavour to stay positive. Okay. I'm gutted for you. A big digital hug from Australia. Thank you, Pauline. Much appreciated. And I've got from my live last night, I discovered just how far-flung my audience really is. USA, Canada, Sweden, Portugal, UK, you know, all sorts of places, which was amazing. Very multinational, shall we say, when I did my live. Stitching really does cross boundaries, doesn't it? It crosses the water. And it transects language too. I mean, even for FlossTube, you can get English generated captions on videos which are, you know, which are foreign language. I follow a French FlossTuber, and whilst I speak a little French, but certainly not enough for conversational French, I could understand and follow what she was doing. Because with this craft, you don't necessarily need words. It speaks for itself. So, Kel's Bells, or Nicola, feel your pain, who wouldn't as a stitcher gutted does not suffice. Onwards and upwards, maybe it wasn't meant to be at this time. And new start, maybe. Well, yes, there's one in the post. You may have seen it already, you may not. But I am doing a hashtag challenge this week, so look out for that. It's a bit of a long jump, but I'm not concerned. Love your channel, you make my day with you and Andy in the background. Yeah, our banter game is strong. Like I said, you know, because we're good friends, we do get on. I mean, don't get me wrong, we have our moments, we get cross at one another. You know, we do have our little sort of spats, as it were. But isn't that part of marriage? Part of relationships? Not everybody has a perfect one. I don't think perfect exists in a relationship. Sometimes you have to be a bit of a foil for each other and have that battle. It's healthy, I think. Donna, I've been watching your videos since last year and have not commented before. Donna, your comments are always welcome, so please, please, please comment again. I love it. I love reading comments. I've been watching your videos since last year, not commented before, but this I need to. My heart goes out to you. My heart sank when you was talking about it. I've just started a new project and want to double check now. I love all of your other whips, especially the stitching shelf. Take care. I wish I could give you a big hug. Thank you, Donna. You know, I'm pleased to have you on board here as a you know, as a channel viewer, and you know, please do comment. Please, you know, don't sort of sit in the background. It's lovely to read and interact. So, and don't forget about me doing lives. So, what else have we got here? Crafting with Fizzy. Sorry to hear there, it's disappointing, but coping well with it. Yeah, like I said, philosophical. If you were just 30 rows short, you could crop it. Yeah, good. Or stitch plain fabric. Okay. My heart is bleeding for you having to restart the Afrimov piece. However, really grateful that you showed it and explained the tent technique. That's no problem, Kat. I now feel more confident in starting my own tent stitch projects. So, absolutely, crack on with it. Let me know how you get on. I'd be interested to hear. And if you are on Instagram, I am on there at Simply a Stitcher. You can always share and tag me in your post. It's lovely to see when people interact with me on there too. I've had a couple of stitchers when we've talked about their pieces have tagged me in their Insta posts, and it's lovely. So so Clara, on my last stitch with me, which was my ASMR, the Stephanie Poyman Law piece, She Sleeps, which, as I've said before, has taken me a while to get into, but I am starting to enjoy it now. Can you hear me? As long as I was, let's start that again. Can you hear me singing whilst we're stitching along with you? I was singing on my own by Michael McDonald, Patti LaBelle from 1986. That was a massive blast from the past, and it was one of my favourite songs. I love Patti LaBelle. She was also stitching on a stitching shelf, regular size Max colour, same as mine, working away across the first pages that I did all the way to the right corner. Having a fabulous time working on it, lovely. Now she was off to watch some of my other videos. I think Clara is one of my biggest cheerleaders. Lovely lady. Dovey Crawfoot. What a challenge. Regarding my Afrimov piece, sorry for the agony you've gone through. She's got, obviously, there's two ideas: to cut the excess fabric from top and sew it to the bottom, or add another strip of similar. The second idea is to restart it just using the mini version, which is 225 by 226 and 88 colours. Come on. In theory, the same colours you've got kitted up, and you could use the same cut of fabric. Yeah. And again, I'll be interested to see how you get on with yours. So if you're on the old Instagram, follow me on there and share with me. Love to see. Gio loves the vibrant pinks and purples in my Stephanie Poyman Law piece, and this camera just picks things up so well. And it's lovely to be able to share, a true representation of the colour. This camera has just been out of this world. It really has. It was the one I used on my live, and and it's the one I now use for all of my videos. So yeah. Love my stitching and my sweet accent. Thank you, Lee Singleton 1. Yorkshire through and through. And the People's Republic of South Yorkshire. I've not always lived in South Yorkshire. I've lived in other parts of the UK too, but I think I've always sort of kept my accent. Some people here say it's not particularly strong, but I don't think it ever was, to be fair. I'm one of those people that always sort of tries to speak properly and not, miss out syllables and, saying like computer when it should be computer, that kind of thing. I've always sort of tried to speak in a more well-rounded manner, if that makes sense. So there you go. I love your channel. I love you talk about your life. I'm sorry a mean person has made you change your videos. I hope you'll come back with a bit more chatty on how you live your life. I just love you because of the way you are. You remind me of the needlebug. There you go, Karen. I'm your UK kindred spirit. Don't change your channel because of a mean person. Thank you, Missy. So I would like to know if you had a good week with work and stitching and just life in general, because I love to hear about it. Well, Missy, yeah, I didn't have a bad week at work last week. I'm about to start this week's work, and life is fairly good. Had a couple of days out, done a few bits and pieces, had some nice warm weather, always got something going on. So on my response video, that was from Missy, and then also Patricia Parrish has responded saying, you said it so well, if people don't want to hear about your job, move along. And that's going to be my philosophy going forward. And because I moderate the comments, hold all comments because of spammers, it enables me to ensure that the right comments are filtered out onto the channel, doesn't it? So you have to deal with rude people and wonder what's wrong with them in their life to cause such behaviour. Gwen, I do wonder that myself. And thank you for taking the time to put out FlossTube videos. It's my absolute pleasure. And then Linda says a live would be great. And I know that you joined in. And you and Andy were discussing American football, Linda. Because Andy is a moderator for my channel on the lives. It's a shame, but good on you. This is what I like from you. You say it as it is. I shall try and remember to join you. Me and time are not always aligned. And Mrs. Miggins, I know you did make it, and it was lovely. Thank you. Pleasure to see you all in there. Greek cross stitcher, I know the comment. You're lovely, and it's your channel. Lives are a great idea. Well, Greek cross stitcher, comment more often. I love to read them. Hi Nicola, I'm looking forward to your live. Thank you, Brenda. Please don't let a few negative comments influence how you manage your channel. And again, I know that you joined in with us on the live, Brenda. Much appreciated. Thank you for your support. Sharon, great to see you so upbeat and back to yourself. Never considered you to moan about your overtime. No, I didn't think I was either. They should have heard me when I was working and when I did overtime. Then they would know what moaning was. Hence, this is why I stitch with you and don't produce floss tubes. I try my best to join you live, and you're doing well. Quite great on your guns on your weight loss. Thank you. Yeah, I think we ought to start a YouTube lives movement, honest lives. honest, a bit like honest movie trailers. But we ought to do it about, honest floss tuber life. That'd be fun. Who doesn't grumble? I've heard worse grumbling on other channels, much worse to the point that I've stopped watching. Would never leave a nasty comment anywhere. Keep your chin up. You don't owe us any explanation. That is the other Sharon. Thank you, Sharon. So I've got two Sharons. I've got Sharon Marie and Sharon Fennell. So that I know of, because I'm pretty sure there might be some more Sharons there that haven't left a comment yet. Candy Quesada, I'm sorry you have to deal with keyboard warriors. You always provide a calm and relaxing time to my day. Thank you. That's nice to hear. Cross-stitching jacks. It's mad you have to go through this. I love your floss tube, and I've watched for a while now. I don't choose not to watch stitch alongs because they're not my thing. That's fair enough. But I watch you because I like your incredible stitchy updates and your life updates. Thank you. I understand and appreciate that not everybody likes the Stitch With Me videos, and Jax, you may not even see this comment or, hear me respond to your comment, but it's truly appreciated that and you're aware that I offer content over a broad spectrum, and you pick and choose the content that you watch, and that's fine. Sue says that it's sad that you've been, essentially made to remove life updates. The only way to get around it really is to comment after stitching me with a question, and I will happily answer questions. And Sue's in Eastern Standard Time, so for 8 p.m. UK time will be 3 p.m. EST. Now, the thing is with the time zones, I think they get messed up with BST, British Summer Time, and Greenwich Mean Time over here, and they also get messed up with Daylight Saving Time over there. So Andy was relying on good old Google, but it doesn't factor in everything, I don't suppose. And then Patricia says, looking forward to seeing her live. Susan Molman, my life is much like yours, stitchy time and overtime. Yeah, it's a hard life at the minute, isn't it, Susan? I watched your last Stitch With Me and loved it. When I tune in to a Stitch With Me, I look forward to hearing about the person's life. It makes me feel we're stitching in the same room. That's from Denise Gray. Thank you, Denise. She will enjoy my videos however I decide to do them, and that's much appreciated. Some people need to get a life. Couldn't agree more, Carol. I won't be able to make it to your lives, but I will be watching all of the vids. Very excited. Thank you, Em. Sally says that she feels sad that it's necessary to omit the life updates. Well, I will still answer them if they're in question form, so you've got anything to ask me, do so. The lovely Clara says, I'm going to ask you, I now have to ask you questions, is that correct? Yes. What kind of foods do we get to eat on our diet? Anything that's healthy. So we can eat as much lean meat as we like, as much of certain vegetables and fruits as we like. There are some, like avocados, which are full of sort of a natural, I think they've got natural fats in them, which are not necessarily sort of freely available. But typically my day will consist of some berry fruit, some strawberries, blackberries, that kind of thing, and Greek yogurt for breakfast. Some Ryvita crisp bread with some cottage cheese or tuna and some salad for lunch. And then tea, I might have some stir-fried vegetables and noodles with some chicken. So I do get, a fair amount. And I also am able to have some treats in between as well. So like I've got some chocolate rice cakes, which I quite like. Can have a little chocolate bar or even like a packet of crisps or something like that. Basically, we're staying away from fats, oils, heavy pastries, bready items, that kind of thing. It's a UK diet called Slimming World. You might be able to see bits about it online, but hey, it works for me, and while it's working, I'm still on it. So for her, 2 p.m. is 8 p.m. because she's in Texas, which is Central Time. And then she also adds a further comment saying, so sorry about from off piece. You remember when I kind of did the same thing with Realm and with my Middle Earth, but nowhere near as much stitching as you've done. Great idea from the remedies. Going to watch more of your videos. Take care. I'm going to send you an email, which of course I've got, and I will be looking at that shortly. Clara. Judy says, yes, you heard me. Yes, I will be looking forward to your live. Thank you. So the live idea was certainly a popular one. And Clara, my last stitch with me was an alternative with Maui Princess, and Clara again comments saying, lovely hair stitching, and she's just noticed that there's a cockatoo on the chart, which is adorable. Yes, when I got the plume come through for that and it started to come out from under the needle, I was like, wow. And some of the colours in it are just fantastic. Betsy says, wonderful to see you again and excited about me going live in the US Eastern Standard Time for me, and have a work function to attend at 4, but she will catch what she can. And Norma, thank you for the update and for dealing with this issue so admirably. Just a note to clarify, Andy got the difference between London and Pacific time correctly, but for those on the Eastern Seaboard, it's normally a 5-hour difference. So again, you know, we were talking about that. Google is awful with time zones. And then Norma asked, after a large piece like Maui Princess, do I launder it? I'll hand wash it with some gentle soap. I'll give it a soak to soak off the grid lines, and I'll hand wash it and sort of gently. I'll use a sponge and sort of, you know, dab down on it with the sponge to try and, you know, to lift any ingrained dirt out, and then dry it flat and iron. And Jodie, sorry this person's done to us, obviously not part of our stitching family. Definitely not, Jodie. They're no longer part of mine. She will ask questions in the comments. So I'm just skimming over because I'm very aware I've gone over an hour now. Questions, how is your job going? It's going good. No overtime at the moment. It's I'm not going to use the Q word because that's bad luck in our line of work. It is unbusy. How is Andy? Andy is doing well. How is Lauren's stitching going? Lauren is back at school and doesn't get much time for stitching, but she's taken up learning to crochet now. Has she cleaned her room lately? No, she's a teenager. Teenagers don't do room cleanings. At least mine doesn't anyway. How hard is it to stay on a diet? Not hard at all, because I'm ready to do it. Or cook for the diet and family. Interchangeable there, Jodie. It's good. Girl says, yes, live. And a question, you say 100 stitches an hour, but isn't snake method on Aframov piece slower than that? It can be in some blocks where it's confetti heavy, but some of the blocks were not so confetti heavy, and therefore I was doing more than 100. I always say it's an average of 100 an hour, not sort of set in stone, because I've known some you know, blocks take me a lot longer than that. And on my Afrimov piece, I was working with 20 by 20, so 400 stitches to the block. So doing 100 stitches, about a quarter of the block, can take a long time if there's a lot of confetti. Pauline says, I've never worried about you including life updates. And it's your channel, do what works for you. Personally, one of the floss tubers, and watch as soon as I see a video come up. Thank you, Pauline. And the last few comments are all comments about my live stream, which if you've not seen it and you go and take a look, you can read those comments. I will cover them in the next Stitch with Me if I can. But as it is, I am almost having to get ready for work now. I have stitched, I'm now up to 324 stitches, so that's I was what, 155, so 174 stitches, and having a lovely long chat with you all. But sadly, work calls and I do have to go. I'm still in my Mickey Mouse pyjamas, so that's got to be addressed as well. But thank you all so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments, your kindness, your support, your words, your emails, your DMs, and everything else that you have done. I really, truly, absolutely do appreciate it. As ever, in the top right hand corner, if you hover over it, there's an eye. If you click on the eye, it will tell you that it can take you to the video of where I start and end my threads. My usual reminders, please do ensure that you are still subscribed and that the YouTube hasn't unsubscribed you magically from my channel. And if you are subscribed, put the notification bell on as well. When I do my lives, it will be limited to subscribers who can comment. So I don't know if that was set up in the last one, but it certainly will be going forward that subscribers only comment on live videos. So there is no final time than to go and press that button. But yeah, I will see you on my next Stitch with Me. And like I said, lots of things coming up. So thank you very much indeed for watching, for sticking with me and supporting me. Do take care. Happy stitching. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye, everyone.